it's Tamara here, the Design Boss, and today I'm tackling a tricky question. That question is, how much does interior design cost? And it seems so simple, but truly, I'm going to relate this question to something that you might be more familiar with, which is, how much does a vacation cost? For one person, a vacation can be a hostel down in South America for a few days where they're backpacking with their friends, and they can do it on a cheap, tight budget, and they love it. For somebody else, a vacation means going on a safari in Africa and taking multi-leg trips and jaunts out to see animals and to stay in 5-star luxury accommodations, and they have a whole different type of experience. Truly, interior design spans that whole breadth of possibility. It can go from down and dirty, getting you a space plan and showing you a simple color palette and you just run and try to do it yourself, all the way to a super high-end luxe sort of experience where your designer is with you every step of the way. It includes VIP shopping trips. It includes concierge service. It's a high-end, high-touch kind of experience on the other side. So, and there's a bunch of stuff in the middle too. So you really need to be honest with yourself about what kind of experience do you want to have as the client. That's number one. Number two is, what kind of experience does your designer have? So there are lots of solopreneurs, lots of designers that really are grinding it on their own. They're super talented and they handle every aspect of their business by themselves. Maybe they're younger in business, they haven't done it as long, and they're working out of their home. You might get a cheaper rate from somebody like that versus a designer who has a firm with multiple designers and architects and professionals that create a highly technically skilled team. They might also have their own office, and they have a very solid group of vendor partners that they collaborate with, that they know and trust, that they can suggest when needed for your job, and they probably carry some pretty solid insurance too. There's going to be big price differences between Group A and Group B, and so you really need to think about if you're doing a long job, say for instance a whole home remodel, and it's going to last for a year or longer. You're going to be working with this designer for a very long period of time. First of all, are they still going to be in business? Because COVID sucks and it's hard for small businesses. So make sure that your design firm has staying power. Also, you want to make sure that the designer that you hire has the processes and systems in place to manage the kind of project that you have going. If it's a small down and dirty project, it's just say a VRBO and you need a color palette and some new furniture, you might be able to go on the lower end of the spectrum for a job like that. Maybe even just virtual interior design. You don't even need to see the designer in person. Versus the longer whole home project, or say a very in-depth kitchen and bathroom remodeling project in a larger home. You're going to be working with that designer for a much longer period of time, and you're going to develop a relationship. So you want to make sure that the designer has longevity, that they've been in business a long time, they have a great portfolio, they have a great circle of trusted advisors, collaborators, and vendor partners, and they're not going anywhere. And they also have a system for talking to you about what's happening in your project. Super important, because oftentimes designers try to do it all. They try to do the project management, they try to do the design, they try to talk to vendors, they try to manage billing, and they try to juggle all the balls in the air, and something's got to give, and usually it's the communication with the client. So having a designer or interviewing a designer who has processes, procedures, and systems in place that make sure that they communicate with you and that you have access to your documents, your emails, your plans, your color palettes, your renderings all in one place. Super important. So do ask that question and pick up the phone and have a conversation. You need to talk with your potential designer and feel comfortable that they really understand the breadth of your project, what you expect to happen along the way, and what your deadlines are or what your goals are for finishing the project. And they need to be honest with you about whether what your expectations are actually in alignment with what can happen in the real world. Because guess what? Sometimes people are real off with how much it costs, how long it takes, and just how much brain damage it might be to get to the finish line. So do talk to somebody that you trust to get that information. I hope I've helped you today. I know it's a tricky question with a kind of not a super clear answer, but I think I've given you some tactics to get the information that you need and to make sure that you talk with somebody who can really do the project in a way that makes you, the client, feel comfortable. That's the most important. If you need more info and you want to have a chat with me, you can drop me a line and I will talk with you for free for 20 minutes about your project. No obligation. I love talking to people about projects. I'm happy to do it. You can email me at hi@designbossonline.com. Thanks so much, and I'll see you again soon.